Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go ahead and make a diaper stroller cake. We're going to need a few things. My stroller is going to require these specific supplies. Yours may vary. So as you can see, I have rubber bands, diapers, one box, a bib, some receiving blankets, and some ribbon. So starting with my box, I went ahead and tucked in the sleeves. You can cut them off if you'd like, but I went ahead and tucked them in. And then you're going to get one receiving blanket, open it up, and then you're just going to tuck that blanket around the box. Or fold it in, I should say. Now, I want you to see specifically here on the corners how I folded this, just so that way you get a clean line on each four corners of the box. Now, I've seen these made with just diapers and no box, so you can go ahead and do it that way. You're going to alter your supplies just slightly. You're going to use a bit more diapers and a bit more rubber bands, but just for my video, since this is what I'm using a box, so we'll keep going with that. So here we're going to grab the first diaper. This specific diaper actually has back written on it, which is helpful, I guess, for new parents. But anyway, so we're going to make sure we put that diaper with the back face down. And then we're going to grab our second diaper, and we're also going to put the back face down. So make sure to put that top one about halfway over the one that's on the bottom, and don't forget to put that string down first before you start rolling, because I have forgot before and then I had to take it apart because this string is what's creating, it's the axle for your wheels. So the reason why I had you put down those diapers this specific way is because it creates a cleaner wheel, in my opinion. Maybe if you don't put it the exact way I explained and I'm showing you, it's up to you. This is how I did it, but we're going to use one rubber band, and it looks like two, but it's just that I spread it out to create, so that way it creates more space, it covers more space, I should say. So I'm just going to show you how to do it again, but the difference is this string is actually still attached to the other wheel, which is off camera. My apologies for that, but again, make sure you put that string down before you start rolling those diapers. Grab your one rubber band again and place it over those diapers to create your next wheel. So there we have it. We have our first axle with our two wheels. You're going to do all of these steps again to create a second axle with another two wheels. So you have your front and your back. My wheels each only take two diapers. So here I've gone ahead and quote unquote attached the wheels to the box. As you can see when I picked up the box, how much they sway and move. There's a reason why I didn't tighten this all the way. I've tried to figure out a way to, put these on there so that way we could put them tight, but then it would require like making a hole in the blanket, and I just didn't want to deal with any of that. So I created it to do it this way. You can see that I didn't tie those strings all the way tight at the top. Like I didn't tie that bow all the way at the top. I tied it so that way they kind of sunk in a little, and there's a reason for this. So here we're going to grab another little bit of diapers. My specific box was obviously the depth it was. Your box, if you're using a box, it's going to be obviously a different depth, so you're going to use a different amount of diapers. Mine I used about 5. So then I went ahead and grabbed another receiving blanket, folded the blanket in half, and placed those diapers in the blanket, and then obviously you just saw me roll the blanket over it. So here is how I pick up the slack of that ribbon. Here you're just going to tuck that blanket in. And if you feel like it's not high enough, the base there, the bed, just take it out and add more diapers, or take some away if it's too much. But you kind of just Here, see how when I pick it up, those wheels aren't swaying anymore? It's perfect. So here in my box, there's a slight gap there, so I went ahead and rolled another receiving blanket and stuck it in there just to fill the gap there and make it all a little tighter. Now for the top portion of the stroller, I went ahead and rolled 2 more receiving blankets, and I'm also going to roll 1 diaper. If you want to throw a rubber band over the diaper right away, you can. The receiving blankets will pretty much hold their shape when you roll them. But also if you want to use another rubber band, it's up to you. My whole goal with creating this stroller was to use as little supplies as possible. So placing those 2 blankets next to each other and the 1 diaper, I'm going to go ahead and use a rubber band definitely for this to hold the 3 pieces together. So why did I use 2 receiving blankets? Here's why. Because I used that bottom one to stuff inside there to pick up that gap. You saw earlier how I used one of those receiving blankets and kind of just stuffed it in there. And then I decided I didn't like the way that was holding, so I took it out and went ahead and combined the 2 receiving blankets and the 1 diaper together. Grab the bib and kind of place it wherever I feel happy with it. You know, a good thing to use, or you could use, again, more supplies needed, is 2-sided tape. I didn't, like I said, just trying to use as little supplies as possible, but definitely use 2-sided tape if you have it, or if you want everything a little tighter. So grabbing the last receiving blanket we'll need here, we're going to go ahead and fold that completely in half. And this is what we're going to use to make the shade part of the stroller. Now I call this first tuck the rough tuck because it looks extremely rough, and it's just going to take a lot of pulling and pushing and poking and readjusting the receiving blanket until you're happy with how the shade part looks. There's really no method to this madness. It's just a lot of adjusting until everything is tight enough to where you're happy with how it feels and looks. So here I just grabbed the last piece of ribbon and I'm just tying it around there, trying to make the best looking bow I could make at the moment. But this is also used to kind of tighten everything else around the blanket, the receiving blanket that's around the box, and also the axles. You can see the ribbon there, the axles. Just tighten everything up, and I think it just makes it look a little bit better. But you also don't have to do this step. You can just go ahead and end with, once you got the shade on, the shade part of your stroller on, you can end right there. And that, my friends, is your lovely little stroller. There's so many different ways to make this thing. I definitely encourage you to do whatever you need to do to feel happy with your stroller. So one of my main goals in making this stroller was to use the least amount of supplies as possible. I created this pattern all on my own, so if you know a better way, by all means, please leave comments and help each other out. There could be someone else who's watching this video who's trying to make this, and maybe your comment will help them out. Also, if you haven't already, I'd really love to have your subscription, so please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button so that way I'll know if you're enjoying these videos and want me to create more of them. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way when I do upload a new video, you will know right away. So until next time, have a good one. Thanks so much for stopping in.